What's up? Big Central on a Friday, Football Friday. Myself, we have Smitty joining in Zoom. Phil?
He has the link.
All right,
I'll
he's
let
got
you
the
know when he's here.
link. He's got the link. All right, he's got the link. He's got the link. All right, Football Friday, fresh off of a Jets win last night. I don't think too much to really unpack in terms of that game. Jets look great. Defense look great. Patriots look like shit. You can't put Drake May out on that field. I know they put him in late, but you can't put him out there when nobody's unpacking. Smitty, I basically said like nothing really to unpack from that game last night other than the Jets take care of business. Patriots look like absolute dog shit, and I don't think you can put Drake May on a field like that when you have no protection.
Yeah, and Aaron Rodgers can boogie a little bit. 11 yards?
Yes.
Yeah, who knew he had it in him? Good for him. Nice to see he's happy and healthy in life. Christ.
Yeah. Yeah, you lost that one.
Yeah, on the second fucking play, Rico.
I know.
It's disgusting.
I know. But what did you really unpack? What did you take out of that game last night?
That the Jets are at least on their way to being what people think they were. Look, the Patriots overachieved the first 2 weeks. Yes, they lost in week 2, but I had them plus 6.5. I know I've had them. Did you have them, Rico?
No, I had Stevenson to score a touchdown. I did think they'd get in the end zone.
So I thought it would be a little bit more of a game, specifically on the defensive side of the ball for the Patriots. Rodgers, give him credit. The Jets look good. Obviously, defensively, only giving up 3 points, but offensively too. They pretty much were moving the ball when they wanted to, which with that New England defense was a little surprising. So yeah, the Jets are right back in contention for the AFC East.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to come down, obviously, them in Buffalo now. It's a 2-team race. We thought it was a 3-team race, but unfortunately the injury to Tua, it's a 2-team race. Jets long-term, where do you put – is this a team that's ascending? Rodgers keeps saying ascending. Is this a team that's going to get better and better?
I mean, it's a ayahuasca talk. Why not?
Yeah.
Of course they're going to get better and better. You saw in the first 2 weeks. They got smoked the first week. They barely whip it out in Tennessee, who's not a great team. And week 3, they looked – objectively the best that they've looked. So naturally they're going to get it together. It really comes down to 2 things for them. Aaron Rodgers and his health, and if their defense can be top 5 in the league, which they should be. And without the son Reddick, they've been struggling, and who knows how long they're going to be without him even further. But last night they showed that they are who at least we thought they were.
Right.
Going into the season.
What do you make of the exchange between Rodgers and Salah?
I don't.
Yeah.
I just don't. I mean, when it comes down to it, they both need each other right now, at least. So it's whatever.
Yeah, he's a tricky guy. I think it just comes down to Rodgers is a tricky guy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't see anything there.
What do you see about the Patriots? I mean, the Patriots are bottom 5 in the league, but like in terms of the bet with Clemmer, could they win? They're going to compete in everything. Could they win 5-6 games?
I don't know. They obviously shocked the world going into Cincinnati week 1, and I thought that I thought that they'd be able to pull out against Seattle at home, but I guess Seattle's a bit better team. I don't know, Rico. This NFL season's really fucking confusing me so far. It really is.
Yeah, it's only going to get crazier as it goes. So
what's the Patriots max right now? Like, could they be a fringe playoff team? Probably not. I say their max is 6 wins, 7 wins.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to pull up the schedule, which I love doing.
Of course.
Rest of the way is at 49ers, Dolphins, which is now winnable, Texans, at Jags, Jets, at Titans, Bears, Rams, at Dolphins, Colts, who are a disaster, Cardinals, who are better than we thought, at Bills, Chargers, and at Bills. I don't know if I see 5 on there, actually.
Probably not. But if their defense plays like they did week 1, and if, Brissett, I guess, doesn't turn the ball over and the game managed, who knows?
I think they'll be in a lot of games. I could see them being in a lot of games.
Yeah. But you're right. There's no point in just putting Drake May out there right now.
No.
They're nowhere near as talented as they need to be to protect him.
No,
and
nowhere.
have them excel.
Nowhere. Let's get into the NFL card. In terms of games, we'll go game by game, kind of spend a couple of minutes on each one. We'll take calls if you want to, but we'll mix it up this way. So, all right, so the first one, Colts -1.5 against the Bears, 43.5. Kind of shocked to see the Colts as a favorite here. I know it's a home favorite, but I'm leaning towards the Bears.
Yeah, I'm all Colts. This is a do or die game for Indianapolis.
Yeah, but they don't look good, man, at all. And Richardson body and when he throws and their game plan, they got gashed on the ground.
Yeah, that's why it's a do or die game. If they want to make the playoffs, they need to win games like this. So I'm picking the Colts. I still trust Steichen. I still trust Anthony Richardson to be able to find a way to get it done. But the Bears haven't looked great either.
No, definitely not. Yeah, this is one of those like which side do you really who looks worse? Who looks less worse? Which is an interesting type of thing to do in the NFL. You know, like it seems like each week there's spots like that. Who looks less worse, and that's the team that's going to win the game. But I don't know. I lean Bears, as ugly as that sounds.
Yeah, I'm Colts.
All right.
God, Rico, am I chopping it up?
You're chopping up a little bit.
It's chopping.
It's chopping, but we'll survive.
I'm chopping up. I'm going to restart real quick. I'll be back in 2 seconds.
All right, that
2
works.
seconds.
All right, that works.
Sorry.
All right. Yeah, I mean, you look at a lot of these games. It's a compelling card for the NFL. There's different games that jump out. Bears, Colts not being one of them. Phil, is this guy good to go?
I'll screen him.
Yeah,
Let's talk about the other game in the meantime.
Yeah, absolutely. So Tampa Bay -6.5 against Denver. I don't know how you can back Denver in this kind of situation. I know dogs of 6.5 have not been great in the NFL. Last night was the first win. The Patriots get the win that way, but I don't want to be taking anything, especially with Denver on the road. Bo Nix does not look good. He's already getting frustrated with the media, with his answers. I don't know. I would lean the way the Bucs have looked. Baker Mayfield at home. I think the defense has looked okay. I lean Bucs 6.5 there. I also would lean under because I don't know how many points Denver's really going to score at all, if anything. So I lean under and the Bucs there. We'll get Smitty back with that one, but we'll take a call. Kamala, college football. What's going on? You on?
Hello?
Yeah, what's up?
Bosco, first time, long time. This is Kama from Hawaii. Everybody on Saturdays gets wrecked all day. You have games from the morning to night. I'm telling you, the lock of the night, you bet it and forget it for East Coast folks. The under. Hawaii, UNI. Hawaii is a windy spot. It's a sleepy spot. And UNI hasn't been able to put up points against superior foes. Lock of the night. That's what it is.
What's the number?
49.
49. Okay. All right. I'll trust you on that one.
Let's ride.
All right. I'll trust you there. All right. Yeah. Tampa Bay -6.5. Phil, you have a play in either of those first two games?
One of my friends is on Denver +6.5, and I'm just iffy.
Yeah, I'm super iffy with that. Bo Nix has looked awful. I like the way Tampa Bay's rolling. I could see myself adding Tampa Bay on that card. Denver has looked really bad. Really, really bad. Tennessee -2.5 hosting Green Bay. All right, Smitty, Tampa Bay -6.5 Denver. I could see myself adding Tampa Bay to the card because I just can't trust Denver, especially Denver on the road. Rookie quarterbacks. I know these dogs of 6.5 have not done well, especially last night was one of the only win, or the only win so far. But I don't know how you put Bo Nix on the road and take the points.
Yeah, you don't. The only way they cover here is Sean Payton whips out some magic. But other than that,
it's okay.
sorry,
it's okay.
boys.
It's all right. It's all right.
Disaster.
It's all right. I also lean under in there because I think Tampa Bay names their number, but I don't see Denver scoring more than 10 points in that game, 13 points in that game. I could see that being an under.
It opened at 43. It is now 41, and both the big money and sharp action are on the under. The under is getting 44% of the money and 33%.
Okay. All right, I lean under in that one.
So
I lean under there.
Here we go, are sharp.
Green Bay, Tennessee. Tennessee minus 2.5. Total is 38. This is another one of like who looks worse. What do you make sense of this game?
It's a Malik Willis revenge game. Of course it is, right?
Yeah.
Has to be. No, he is an absolute non-factor either way, as long as like he's only passing the ball 11 times a game. If Tennessee forces them to pass, they have a shot. If not, Green Bay's just too talented of a team, as we saw last week.
Do you think Green Bay can have that same kind of game plan they had against the Colts where they put up 2 bills on the ground?
Probably not. Probably not because the
Tennessee's defense, right?
Well, I mean, the Titans should game plan for Josh Jacobs in the first half at least.
Yeah.
Unlike the Colts for whatever reason.
Yeah. All right, no play in that one for me. I'm leaning with this one. Road favorite. It scares me. Houston minus 2 against Minnesota. Total is 46. I could also see the over in that game. I like what I see out of Houston. I know they barely survived the Bears, but I don't know if I want to be backing Sam. I think it eventually comes back to earth for Sam Darnold, and I think I'm leaning on Houston on this one. I don't have many plays this week. I would play the under in Tampa Bay, Denver, and I would lean Houston here.
Yeah, I'd lean the under. To be honest, I think it's going to be a hard-fought, kind of scary butt-tick game for both teams. But then again, this season's confusing me so much. They might put up 55 points each with Justin Jefferson and like Tank Dell.
I think Jefferson was dealing with a groin.
Who knows? That's pretty much a stay-away game for me.
Jefferson was dealing with a groin or something like that. I don't know. I like Stroud. I think I'm leaning towards Houston there with the points. Let's get to Nick. Nick, you're on the line.
Hey, what's up, Rico? Big fan. A couple of thoughts quickly. One college play I love is USC at Michigan this week. I just don't think Michigan's terrific, at least not yet. They got time to be, but I also look into the weather in Ann Arbor. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be USC type weather. One NFL play, which I'm kind of curious on both your opinions. Carolina +6 at Vegas. With Vegas just coming off beating the Ravens, it just seems like a very odd line. I know 6 could be a lot in the NFL, but with the way Carolina looks, and Andy Dalton, I don't know if he can move, and Max Crosby on him. That's a weird line. I don't really get that one. And then one for I think Smitty's on the line. How is Christopher Sanchez 10-9 with a 3.2 ERA with the Phillies when they're winning 90+ games? Seems very strange, and the fact that they're underdogs to Peterson tonight, very strange. I don't know how I feel about that one either, but I'm leaning Mets.
Smitty, I'll let you take that. I also think that Vegas line is down to 5.
Wow. Christopher Sanchez is wildly better at home than he is on the road. He's still good on the road, but he's a lot better at home. And the Mets are fighting for their lives right now, and the Phillies are fighting for the number 1 seed. They're trying. They're trying hard.
But they're not. It's not going all out
in that game today, which is on my card.
Okay.
Yeah. The unders will play, and the Mets not a bad call today.
Okay.
You want to bet them.
So let's dive into Vegas, Carolina. Vegas -5. I don't know if Vegas should be favored against anybody by that many points, but it's a lot of points. But, man, Carolina's look bad. And Andy Dalton, is there a resurgence with Andy Dalton? Are you backing Andy Dalton being like anything? I can't. It's a stay away from me.
To stay away, but if you're in a Survivor League that has rebuys, Carolina it, baby. Carolina it. Because why not? This might be the only one of the year, or you can just buy back in.
Right. It's not a bad idea. Yeah, a lot of those leagues are down this year too. So I think the heaviest favorite in week 1 and week 2 lost. So for the first time in like 40 years or something like that. So it's crazy. But that's the way to go. Sam talking about the NFL. Sam, what's up?
Yeah, Rico. I just had an NFL play. Just kind of keep it simple this week. A little Bucks, Raiders, Bengals moneyline parlay +140. I don't see any of
Raiders
them really having trouble. Bengals.
Bucks, Raiders, Bengals. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's out of the Clemmer book. Monster money line.
Very much so.
Yeah. Yeah, I just don't think any of those teams have trouble. So just keep it simple and have a nice, relaxing Sunday.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it's worth it. I don't know if I hate it, to be honest with you, but that's usually you can make that case for every big favorite in the NFL until they lose.
The Bengals better not have trouble with the Washington Commanders at home. They better not.
No. I think Tampa. Who would you say is the safest they're going to win the game outright this week?
I'm high on
Cincinnati.
the Bucs.
Okay, that's what I think. I would say the Bucs. Thanks, Sam. Smitty said Cincinnati. All right, so you think Cincinnati is the safer play, Smitty?
Yeah, for Survivor, yes.
Okay. It's worth a shot. What are we up to? Chargers. Chargers heading to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh a small favorite, -1.5, total of 36. I think one of the better, if you were drafting the games, maybe one of the better games of the weekend. Excited to watch it. I'll be watching it with Jerry, which is always a fiasco when you're watching games with him, with the Steelers. But I think it should be entertaining. I think this is a good one, and I can't really make my way. I think this is one of those that really tests Herbert. Like, it's another spot on the thing where can Herbert win on the road? Can Herbert go win a game? He's got to go win in terms of a tough team. 2-0, a really good defense. Hardball's first test in the NFL with this team. I think this is really compelling. I think this would be like the second best game of the weekend, third best game of the weekend, which is crazy coming into the season.
For sure. Expect the smash mouth, hard nosed defensive battle. The under 36. It started. The under's 36. Guess what it started, Enrico? 42.5.
It started that high?
42.5 down to 36 right now, and the Sharks are still on it.
Wow.
Still on it. This is going to be a 13-10 blood fest.
Yeah. No, it's a good one. It's a good one. What is Pittsburgh's real ceiling? Can Pittsburgh sneak out 10, or is Pittsburgh just destined for the wild card round in the playoffs? Yeah. Is that it, though? They're destined for a wild card spot in the playoffs, and that's it?
I think they can win a game.
Really?
I don't think they can go on the road to, I don't know. Maybe they could go on the road to, a place like Kansas City. Hey, if you have TJ Watt just going fucking box happy on every quarterback he faces, and if they can contain and unleash Justin Fields in a specific offense that basically just has him running all over the place, that's unpredictable, they can squeak out a playoff game.
Yeah.
Of course. 10 people win a playoff game. You tell me Justin Fields can't win a playoff game with this Steelers defense?
Potentially. No play in that one. I'm very playing 2 or 3 games in the NFL, and that's kind of what I'm doing. This is Mike. Mike says he's got bad news for Smitty.
Of course.
Smitty there?
Yeah, he's there.
What up, guys? What up? All right.
Yeah.
I just want to ask you, Smitty, if you had to compare Jalen's career and his play style so far to an already retired player, who would you say he looks most like?
To an already retired player. Well, you obviously have somebody in mind.
Yeah.
Who are you thinking?
Cam Newton.
I think Jalen's a better passer, and I think Cam's a better athlete and runner. But that's a pretty fair comparison, probably.
I agree with that. I do think Jalen's a better passer, and that's coming from a Panther fan, unfortunately.
I would say Jalen's a better passer as well.
What I have to say about that is a quarterback that leads with their shoulder after scrambling. You only got 3 to 5 seasons of that.
I agree with you. I think Hurts has improved on that a little bit. 2 seasons ago during his MVP year, in a useless game against the Bears, he lowered his shoulder and hurt it, which cost him essentially the MVP that year. Last year and this year, he's gotten a little bit better, working on the slide and avoiding contact. But I agree with you. If he's lowering his shoulder, I mean, that's just
Yeah, I mean,
eventually.
It's something that I don't want to see. And like, if I were a GM, I would from drafting QBs that just don't take can't take sacks, can take throw the ball out of bounds every now and then. Just it's really difficult watching these QBs take. After watching Cam for 6-7 years, whatever it was.
Yeah.
But Cam and Jalen Hurts can both squat a Volkswagen Beetle, so they can.
Hell of a day for Smitty's internet.
Hell of a day for Smitty's internet.
Look at him, he's frozen up.
It's in his own house. It's crazy. Really is absolutely fucking bananas. It's all right. It's powering through. All right. Thanks, Mike. It's bananas.
I as crazy as it is, I don't think it's my end, Meek.
Really?
Yeah, I don't.
Okay. We'll take your word for it. Cleveland -6.5 against the Giants, 38. As gross as this one is, I think you got to take the Giants in this spot. Cleveland hasn't looked great. Cleveland's defense going to be a low-scoring game, as you see by the total. I think the Giants' skill players step up here. Guys like Lawrence, even Daniel Jones maybe can not look as bad as he has been. Neighbors is obviously the future. I hate this game. I don't want to be watching it, even as a Giants fan. But I lean the 6.5 here, especially with the trend of big dogs covering almost every game except the one last night. I would take the dog here.
Meek, this is your no touchdown game right here. Two ugly teams. The Browns defense might be back after last week, and the Giants, I don't know how they're going to be able to do anything. So yeah, they might be able to cover. In a nice 6-0 win by the Browns, but the under is for sure the ugliness here.
The Browns defense might score a touchdown or two, so that's why I wouldn't be that confident. I mean, you say this spot you have to take the Giants with the points. I don't think there's ever a spot with the Giants where you have to take the points. This just feels like a 21-3 Cleveland win.
Yeah.
17-3. It's gonna be
Watson hasn't been great at home either.
It's going to be that game that you barely see on Red Zone.
I agree with that.
Watson hasn't been great at home. He hasn't been great on the road. He hasn't been great in public. Where has Deshaun Watson been great?
He hasn't been great at all. No, you're right.
Yeah.
He hasn't been great at all. So, that's a smart way. I don't know. I lean the Giants there with that one. All right, Smitty, your hometown here, the New Orleans Saints, a 3-point home favorite, look the best in the NFL with their offense scoring 40 each week, total 49.5. Philly, talk me out of the over if I was playing this game.
I'm not going to. I am not going to. You got me, Meek?
Yeah, we still got you.
You still got me? The Eagles, they can't stop a nosebleed. They're giving up the most rushing yards per attempt in the NFL. Alvin Kamara looked pretty damn good last week. Derek Carr's playing like an MVP. Defensively, they're a mess. Offensively, they haven't been able to have much cohesion or getting into a groove. It's the Saints and the over right now. And if the Eagles want to surprise me and I can change my tune next week, please, more power to you, you fucking assholes. But
hell of a cliffhanger. Did you drop him just for the laugh, Phil?
No, we actually ran an internet speed test. He's still technically on, and it's not on our end.
Okay. Oh man.
Saints and the over, Rico. Saints and the goddamn over.
All right. Where does this put leave the link and come back? All right. Let him leave the link and come back. It's amazing. All right. Monday night, Isaiah wants to talk about the Jags Bills. What do you got?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just curious what you guys think about this. Historically, the Jags have always given the Bills trouble the last 4 years. Them being 0-2 going into Buffalo, what do you guys think about that game?
I don't know. The way Buffalo has looked, I don't want to get out in front of Buffalo and impede it. And I'm the guy I was knocking on the door last year being like, Josh Allen's, I don't want to say not elite, but there was something wrong with the Bills. They lose that Broncos game. They had a couple of other slip-ups. Like the Bills looked human last year. And I was very much being like, it's not, it's the Bills, even though they got the home field. I was like, or they didn't get home field. Even though the Bills won the division, though, correct?
Yes.
All right, it all blurs together. Even though the Bills won the division, they didn't look great at certain points in the season. I think they look great right now. Maybe it's peaking too early, but I think they look great on a Monday night at home. That crowd, Monday off, the whole town, the whole fucking city is off. I don't love Trevor Lawrence either. I really don't. I don't want to get in front of him. I don't want to put my money on him. I lean the Bills -5. That's a lot of points in the NFL, but I lean the Bills -5.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I mean, I think the games that they've lost to them, it's been in London game and then in Jacksonville. They're all always kind of weird games. So, yeah, I was just curious you guys thought. Thanks, man.
No sweat. I lean the Bills. That's the way I lean. Corey wants to talk about the Jets. Corey, go ahead.
How we doing, Rico?
Good. What's up?
So I called yesterday, and I gave Aaron Rodgers over 1.5 touchdowns at plus money. That was a hit. And it looked like Rodgers was looking comfortable in the pocket last night. Everything's starting to click on all cylinders for the Jets. I know they were playing the Patriots, but if Smitty's still there, I would love to hear his thoughts on the fact that Rodgers had 18 rushing yards. And I would love for him to hammer the under on his rushing yards every week. That'd be great.
I know. I think he learned his lesson. He's not there right now, but I think he learned his lesson.
Okay. Well, I mean, hey, last night showed me a lot, and it showed me kind of exactly what I was saying is the fact that the playbook seems to keep opening up week in and week out for Rodgers, and he's starting to figure out all his new toys, and I just think that this Jets team, they like he's saying and like you were saying, Rodgers keeps saying they're going to ascend and ascend and ascend. So I only see good things coming out of last night.
Yeah, I think the Jets, they're kind of like Baltimore light in the sense of the way that they're building and the defense, and I don't know. The Jets from week one we were like they're out of it, and the Jets will Jets. I do think the Jets will have some stupid losses along the way, but the Jets 100%. Right now look like. Where do you put them in terms of the AFC? In terms of the teams who've looked the best? Buffalo has looked the best. Chiefs have not looked the best, even though they're 2-0. I mean, then you got teams like the Steelers who look good, the Chargers who look good, but the teams who've looked the best. Is it crazy, Phil, to put the Jets on the teams who've looked in the top 3 in the AFC?
I mean, we've only had three.
I know.
It's only week 3.
I know it's early.
It's not that crazy.
I think they look really, really good. So, and yeah, if they keep ascending, they're a dangerous type team in the playoffs.
I think that Rodgers' mobility in the pocket and our offensive line play through the first 3 weeks is what's the clear sign of the best thing to take out of these first 3 weeks as a Jets fan. I think that the O-line holding up and Rodgers showing that he can still kind of move around, maybe not 30-year-old Aaron Rodgers, but he can still at least move around enough to extend the play. That's we haven't had that since I've been a fan all 25 years of my life.
No, I think that's a fair statement to make. So, what do you think the ceiling is for this team? What percentage? What percentage? I mean, the ceiling is the Super Bowl. That's a stupid question. I shouldn't have said that. But what percentage right now do you put it at you guys winning the division? Because winning the division is obviously key. You have those home playoff games. I said it all the time.
Yeah.
I think if the Jets have to go on the road against a team like Cincinnati, Baltimore, Buffalo, and then potentially face Buffalo or Kansas City and that's without teams like Stroud. There's definitely some others I'm missing there. Pittsburgh,
you're right.
Pittsburgh, who could be pesky in a wild card type game. Even if Lawrence puts it together in the South over there in that division. But I don't think going on the road is something you want to do against those teams. So winning the division is the goal. What percentage do you put on winning the division?
I would honestly say I think right now we're in a good spot. I think it's tough because we haven't had that game against the Bills yet, right? And I think that's going to be the tell-all, be-all is when we face up against the Bills. I think it's going to show who's going to be that powerhouse of the AFC East. I would honestly say just with the way our schedule looks, I would. Again, it's a little biased, but I'd put us a little ahead. I mean, our next 2 weeks, Denver and Minnesota, those should be winnable games. I mean, we should be 4-1 going into the game against Buffalo. So Buffalo's got some tough games coming up. They got the Ravens next week after this one. So I mean, their schedule's not a cakewalk.
No, No, I think it's going to be – that's a very compelling divisional race, and those games are going to be big-time games. So and I think it could come down right to the end.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think the Dolphins are teetering out, obviously, and they're not really in the picture. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out with the Jets and Bills. And I agree with you. The Jets, they need to make sure they lock up that division title, no road game playoffs. I think, to my knowledge, Rodgers isn't the best in the playoffs on the road. So I think he needs to make sure that he's securing up that home playoff game.
Yeah, I also think big picture for like Jets, even for like, getting down in the nitty gritty of their season ticket holders. How many playoff home games have the Jets had since MetLife opened? None.
In my head, not many. Probably none.
No, it's zero. It's zero. The Giants have the only playoff game, and it's only one. So that stadium has been barren in January and when it matters in those playoff games. I think you gotta get that home playoff game for MetLife. I think it's time. You have to do it for your fans. You have to do it for your season ticket holders. I think they owe it to them. You have to get a home playoff game, won by nook or by crook. You have to get a home playoff game and win that division.
100%. And I also do think with Rodgers especially, I think last night was one of those games where, he put on his big boy pants and he knew he was going to show up and show out with, everything. First game, home opener, since the whole incident last year. There's going to be some games where, he isn't slinging the rock as much as he was last night, which is fine. I think they need to rely on Braylon Allen and Breece Hall in a lot of these games. I just think last night they were kind of like, all right, we're going to show off Rodgers because the first 2 weeks people were questioning his ability still.
Yeah. Also, Phil, how long has it been since they won the division? 20 years?
The Jets?
Yeah, 03?
Probably. I mean, I don't remember the last time they did it.
I think it's 03
if you can look that up. They got less amount of division titles than the Colts do, and the Colts aren't even in the AFC East anymore.
Yeah.
Jets have only won. They've only won the AFC East twice, in 1998 and 2002.
Okay, so 2. I was off by a year.
The fewest division titles among NFL teams in the post-merger era.
Jesus Christ.
Crazy.
So I mean, you got to win that division. You got to hang you got to hang a banner. You got to have a home playoff game. It matters more for that. It's a desperate type
100%.
thing. So all right.
And real quick,
go ahead.
before I go, real quick, I do just want to mention, if Smitty does listen back to this, Jalen Hurts has the worst fourth quarter quarterback passer rating, only above Anthony Richardson and Will Levis. So he's pretty horrible.
Yeah, horrible in the fourth anyway. So.
Yep. There we go.
All right, appreciate it. Thanks. All right, Moisty Turtle wants to talk about Shohei Ohtani real quick. What's going on?
Yo, what's up, Rico? I just got some buddies. I played lacrosse growing up. I've recently just started getting into baseball the last 2 or 3 summers, betting on it and whatnot when I was in college. Is Shohei Ohtani, when it's all said and done, obviously he's still in the middle of his career right now. When it's all said and done, is he going to be the best baseball player that's ever lived?
I don't know. Phil, can you tackle that one?
I mean, there's a chance just because we haven't seen a player.
Pitch.
Obviously, he's not pitching this year, but we haven't seen a player pitch and hit to his level at the same time. Like Babe Ruth wasn't doing that. And he's already had 10 years in the majors. If he has a 15, 16-year career.
Wait. How many years has Shohei been in the majors?
Bad, not 10. Oh, man. He came up in 2018. My bad for saying that.
Yeah, come on. I'm like, I didn't miss 10 years of this guy's life. If anyone else said that, Phil, you would have jumped all over him.
Yes, no, good on you for calling that out. But yeah, let's say he has a 14, 15-year career of doing both. It's hard to say he isn't the GOAT at that point.
Yeah, I just have some buddies that are, I don't know, they're seam heads, and they're like, well, I can't even think of a specific example because I was kind of just talking about it with them late last night when he hit his 51st home run too, which is insane. I mean, I know he got a position pitcher pitching to him last night on that last one, but still, I mean, being the first person ever to have 50 home runs and 50 stolen bases, I just don't see a world where the next 10 years don't pan out and we're like, wow, Shohei pitched and hit like a boss, and he's the best baseball player ever. I don't know. I just thought that was an interesting question.
It's a definite possibility. I mean, he's got the chops to do it. I think he's got to do it for 10. He's done it for 5, Phil.
Yeah.
I think you got to do it for 10.
Even that,
How old is he now, though?
30.
Yeah, that's a long time.
I mean, if he does this till he's like 35, 36, like it's hard to really debate.
You just got to also pray he doesn't get hurt again. Can he pitch? Will he pitch for the 6 years, or will they just say your offensive numbers are so good they take away the arm?
He had 2 Tommy John surgeries already, so you don't know. Like,
yeah, I think the pitching could be his days are numbered there.
We don't know how good of a pitcher's going to be till he gets back on a mound.
That's what my thing is. My thing is if he pitches and he has like around a 3.4, like maybe 2.5 ERA, I don't know how you can be like, wow, this guy hits bombs and he pitches like a fucking like a gem. So I don't know. Like even if he has an average career as a pitcher, making up for it while batting and hitting, it's not like he's batting and hitting doubles, guys. This guy's fucking hitting nukes.
I know. 50-50 is something.
He's only 2 home runs behind Aaron Judge now for the lead.
Crazy.
And Aaron Judge, by the way, no one talked about it because the Yankees fans didn't say shit. He just went on his longest without a home run drought of his career like 2 weeks ago, and no one said shit about that. So I just wanted to throw that in.
Yeah, he cooled off. Judge cooled off, but he's still having a ridiculous season.
Yeah.
So you can't really fault the guy for cooling off.
Yeah. Last thing, and you guys don't have to talk about it too much. Jalen Hurts is not a top 5 quarterback. That is fucking crazy.
No, I don't think he's. I don't think he's a top 5.
Insane. Putting him above Joe Burrow and Josh Allen is fucking ridiculous.
Burrow, yeah.
Peace.
All right. Air from Mississippi. What's going on?
What's up, Rico?
What's
up?
up?
How you doing on this Friday?
Good.
Hey, I was just calling. I think I got a lock for this weekend. I don't typically like betting NFL lines, especially NFL favorites, but, man, I love the Saints at -2.5 this weekend against the Eagles. Off a short week and that heartbreaking loss to the Falcons, man. And the Saints, with that new OC they got, that offense has got misdirection. It's got motion.
It looks good. Offense looks really, really good. I was a year early on the Saints. I hate that.
Yeah.
Last year I was all over them, and that division stinks. Although Tampa's playing a little bit better, but that division stinks. I shouldn't say that. That division is better than it seems now with the Falcons there. That division is compelling. That division is compelling. But the Falcons could falcon. The Panthers are a non-factor, so it's a 3-horse race. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I love the Saints at -2.5. I think they, I wouldn't mind taking them an ultra line at like -6.5 or something like that. I mean, I think they might blow the doors off of them this weekend. But, and I got that pick, Saints -2.5, and I also it's a homer pick, but Ole Miss -35.
Ole Miss is a wagon, buddy. Ole Miss is a wagon.
Yeah, they're 2-0 against the spread so far this year with inferior teams, but I think Lane, he's going to try to get Dart his stats as much as he can. I know Lane has a relationship with that coach from Georgia Southern, but, 35. If they don't beat them by 40, I'd be disappointed in the game.
Yeah, I've been playing their overs. They didn't hit they didn't hit one of them. I forget who it was against, but I think they won like 52-10, and the number was like 65 or something like that. So we lost, but they settled for a couple of field goals.
The defense has been really good too. The defense has been really good against these lesser teams. They haven't given up a touchdown this year yet. So
the defense. If the defense they'll be top of the SEC. That's you're going to get some compelling games with them in Georgia, different style of play. Them in Alabama. I don't know if they play them in their schedule, but do they have them both?
Who'd you say again?
Who does Ole Miss have? Georgia and Alabama, or neither?
No, they just have Georgia.
Just have Georgia.
Oklahoma. They don't play Texas.
Okay. Yeah, so that's Ole Miss is live right now to win the championship. I really do. We'll see how it rolls out. They've played nobody.
As an Ole Miss fan, I'm keeping my expectations kind of simmered down for a little bit till they play. They play Kentucky next week, so that'll be their first real test. But they look good though. They look
real good.
They got some size, something they didn't really have before.
And now that with this new playoff, like you just have to be in the top 12. So I think it's opened up and make it more compelling. I think casual fans like Smitty and Clemmer can get in on a college football playoff like that. You start to mark your calendars.
Yeah.
I think the way they laid it out, I say it all the time, the way they laid out this schedule with Thursday night and Friday night and the weekend before, it starts with the weekend before Christmas, then Thursday night, Friday night, championship games, semifinals, New Year's Day. They're doing the right thing. So it's a great setup for college football here. And now we finally get a true champion because we haven't for 100 years.
Right.
The playoff of 4 was bullshit. Playoff of 2 was bullshit when it was a computer system. The fact in the 80s and 90s they didn't even have championship games. Now we're getting a real deal championship. This is something to finally look forward to.
Yeah, I think the Blue Bloods, like Georgia and Alabama and Texas and, even USC maybe, Ohio State, I think they'll still, probably still be the champion.
Get the benefit of the doubt. Yep.
But, I mean, it's still going to be fun. Teams like Ole Miss, Penn State, you know, these teams that have been on the outskirts sometimes, maybe even a Clemson, maybe not this year, but, you know, like it gives everybody a chance to compete for it and makes at least Alabama and the Georgias earn, you know, their spot. And you never know what can happen. You know?
No, I agree. You're going to have to go earn it. You're going to have to go win 3 games against tough people. So that's where we're at. All right, thanks, Air.
All right, appreciate it.
All right. Smitty, Seattle -4.5 hosting Miami, total 41.5. As square as this is, how could you possibly put your hard-earned money on the Miami Dolphins?
Yeah, you absolutely can.
You
I think
can.
it's going to be Seattle by at least 2 touchdowns.
I think
Seattle's been playing well.
I like Seattle's defense to score. I think that was in like the 390 range in terms of end zone crown, touchdowns, different things like that. I like Seattle here. At home, Miami on the road, Skylar Thompson on the road. I think Miami's crushed. I think Miami's crushed.
You can make an argument that, hey, buddy, you can make an argument that Derek Carr and Geno Smith are the 2 best quarterbacks in the NFL right now. You can make that argument.
Possible. It's definitely possible. I mean, Mahomes is throwing for, 100 yards the last time? 150 yards, whatever he threw for? Burrow hasn't looked like spectacular. Lamar hasn't looked spectacular. Yeah, you can make that case. That's factual.
100%.
What do you think about the total? Because I don't think Miami can score, and Seattle's defense is going to turn it on. I say under.
Big under again, because it's going to be like a 30-6 game.
Right.
Like it's Seattle, and we talked about it yesterday when you weren't here for the touchdowns. Yeah.
You're good.
I'm done.
You're good. Power through this one.
Toast.
Give me a troll under Skylar Thompson, under 135.5 passing yards, plus 475. I think he gets hurt in this game, and we see Snoop Huntley play.
You don't want to be rooting for guys to get hurt, though, Phil.
I'm not rooting for it. I think he just gets hurt and doesn't pass enough yards.
Okay. Plus 475 is not bad, 135. Let's go to Matt. Matt, what's up?
Hey, I had a debate in my group chat the other day with Oklahoma State versus
Utah
game coming up. Who do you think's a better coach? They have extremely similar stats, Whittingham or Gundy all time in their career.
Wow, that's a good one. I lean Gundy just a little bit because I'm a Gundy guy, but Willingham I think is probably right there with him toe-to-toe. I think Gundy, I would say, had more wins, though, right?
Quick context, yeah, I think Gundy has like 5 more wins all time and one that's 80 losses versus 79 losses, I believe.
Yeah, I think Oklahoma State is really, really good. Utah's unbelievable as well. That's a good comparison. You probably put those guys in top 5 active coaches right now, top 10 for sure. And you wouldn't think that. You know what I mean? You would have to, normally you ask a college football fan or you ask a casual college football fan, and you're like, who's the best coaches? They're probably saying Saban still because they think Saban's still around, or you forget. But then you start to realize Saban's out, Harbaugh's out. You start to look. I think those guys are like top 5, top 10 for sure.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Thanks for making the call.
All right, appreciate it. Smitty, the most compelling game of the weekend, Baltimore -1 against Dallas. 47.5. Dallas now staring at 1-2 in the face. Baltimore staring at 0-3 in the face. This is a get off the mat game for both of these teams. You got to think Dallas can't play as bad as they did last week. You got to think that.
You got to think, but then again, last 2 Dallas games at home, absolute ball washing up and down the field. This is the Ravens, they're just the better team, and they are in a must-win situation. In a pick 'em, Ravens, please. Or -1.5.
-1. Yeah, Ravens. I don't know. And then what does this say about you if you guys take care of business against the Saints and Dallas loses? Where do you put you? What do you think about this division? Is this going right down to the wire? Or can you see this point where you're like, all right, we're starting to get ahead of the Cowboys. We can get out in front and run them, or is it really just going to matter what you do head-to-head?
If that happens, then both teams will be probably too inconsistent to do anything to make the Super Bowl. just what it comes down to.
Okay. But in terms of the division, right now, where do you put yourself? Like, you expect yourself to win it? You see Dallas as a serious threat?
Rico, as you know, no NFC East team has won the division back-to-back years since, I believe, 2004. Won it this year. The Cowboys and the Eagles booked the birds.
Yep. It's a good spot to be in. I wish I was there. Detroit, another compelling one. Detroit -3 against Arizona. I did not expect this game to be a lot of fun, but I do think this game's a lot of fun. Total 51.5, the highest on the board. 51.5 is tempting.
I'm not going to watch this game and sweat the under. That's not going to happen. He's still. You put Kyler Murray in that Geno Smith, Derek Carr realm this year, too. Kyler Murray's been slinging it.
Yeah. Oh, he has been.
Over 51. Enjoy some football.
Okay. Yeah, Detroit looks good. I mean, Detroit looks good. So, Arizona, I think, has been one of – who have been the bigger surprises, or who would you say is the biggest surprise so far in the NFL? Is it Arizona or is it the Steelers?
Arizona, Steelers, Vikings, Saints, Seahawks.
Yep. A lot of surprises.
All of them pretty surprising for the up way. The Ravens,
biggest surprise down.
How are the Ravens 0-2? How are the Bengals 0-2?
Bengals the biggest surprise down as well. I think you can make a case for the Colts being shitty.
Fair.
A playoff team. Miami obviously is pretty shitty, but that's a different reason with that injury. So, but yeah, it's been a lot of. I think we're still. When do you think we figure it out? When do you think we get a picture of all right, these teams are, this is where we're at. Week 6, week 7? How long is this going to take?
I don't know. I'm too confused. I'm still way too confused. You got a fringe team like the Steelers. They're a fringe team. But you get a couple injuries here and there in the AFC, and then all of a sudden, we all know the Chiefs are still going to win the AFC. But the NFC is just completely up for grabs in a shit show.
Yeah. Speaking of teams in a shit show, the 49ers -6.5 going to the Rams. Rams are the shit show I was referring to there. Total 46.5. These heavy favorites on the road, you don't want to do this. Interdivision home dog. I think I have to take the Rams here, but I absolutely despise it.
The Rams are probably the play, but just remember that the 49ers are coming off of a loss, and they're going to be hangry. So.
Yeah. I think you just play that system. You take the loss if you have to, but man, I don't know. The Rams are the system. The Rams are the system, but I love the 49ers here. I could see myself shooing away from that. I don't know.
You can see the 49ers put up a 35 spot, and the Rams ain't scoring 35.
No. Can the Rams score 25 is really the question. Exactly. So you only need about 24 points in the NFL. They could probably cover the 6.5. I don't know. I lean 49ers there, even though it goes against my system. My play of the week, I don't care if it's square or not. I love the Chiefs -3 against the Atlanta Falcons. Total 46.5. I don't think Kelsey's going to play as bad as he has. I don't think Mahomes is going to play as bad as he has. If I was still alive in the end zone crown, I would take Travis Kelce. Me, Jerry, and a caller have Devontae Adams, Travis Kelce, and Najee Harris. It's almost 13-1 for that touchdown end zone crown parlay. I think Travis Kelce is the guy here. Sunday Night Football, big-time spot in a dome. I love the Chiefs here. Love the Chiefs.
Yeah. I don't think the Falcons are just – I don't think the Falcons are good. That's what it comes down to.
Rico. So
sure.
I don't think they're good. If the Chiefs can very well play down to shitty levels.
Yeah. Rico, you're out of Stoolvivor.
Yes.
So you said if you were still in, your pick this week would have been Kelsey.
It would have been Kelsey.
I want to tail all of what your Stoolvivor picks would have been till the end of the competition, because it would be funny.
I think I'm going 10-2.
It would be funny if you hit every pick after you've been eliminated.
I think so. I think it would be Travis Kelce right now. Who are you leaning towards, Smitty? I know you were looking at somebody last night. What'd you end up doing in Stoolvivor?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how the injuries shake out. But I like Travis Kelce as well. I also like Zach, whatever his name is, the backup
Charbonnet.
from the Seahawks. Yes, that we talked about last week.
He was great at UCLA. He was a great running back at UCLA.
But only if Kenneth Walker's out. I also like Cam Akers as well, who is minus money.
Okay.
For the Texans.
Okay. Jacksonville will do the Monday night games and then get out of here. Jacksonville, +5 heading to the Bills. Bills -5, total 45.5. I don't know how you don't get – a caller asked about it. I don't want to put my money in front of the Bills. The Bills right now seem like a wagon. That might not be the best thing in the world when you're the best team in September and not the best team in December, but the Bills look really, really good here. I don't love Trevor Lawrence. I don't love any of the other weapons that Jacksonville has. I kind of love the Bills here. With a big number, I love the Bills.
There's no logical reason for me to take Jacksonville, but I'm going to take Jacksonville solely because the wheels are going to fall on something, anything to keep it competitive against the Bills, because there's no excuse why Doug Peterson should be this bad of a head coach and Trevor Lawrence should be this bad of a quarterback. There's no excuse. They have to turn it around now. This is the final chance I'm giving them.
All right. And then Cincinnati -7.5 against Washington. It's got to be a get-right spot for Cincinnati. Get-right spot for Cincinnati. But I feel like in those Monday night games, Cincinnati plays teams a little tough. I could see this being ugly. Washington making it a little ugly, but I think Cincinnati pulls the game out. I don't know about a cover, but I think Cincinnati pulls the game out. Which is not really going out on a limb. They have to win.
No, they have to win.
You can't be 0-3 and then win that division, and you potentially looking at Pittsburgh being 3-0. I know that you can.
Rico, it's one thing being 0-3. It's being 0. Now I know we got Joe Burrow blowers on this panel, but it's one thing being 0-3. It's another thing being 0-3 with 2 of your losses
to the Commanders and the Patriots.
Being at home to the. I rest my case.
Yeah, I think 2 of your losses being to the Commanders and the Patriots, you kind of cut off there again. Surprise, surprise. But I think that's a tough sell is what the point you were trying to get to.
That's exactly the point I was trying.
And meanwhile, Baltimore's 0-3 would be a little less stinky because they would have lost to Dallas, who's good, the Chiefs, who's good, and they only would have had a bad loss to the Raiders, who are a little spunky as well. But yeah, the Cincinnati Bengals must win this game. Must win this game. Must win. It's not debatable. All right, let's recap the cards. I'm on the Denver Tampa Bay under 41. I'm on Houston -2, and I'm on Kansas City -3, which would be my best bet. What are you on?
I'll get those picks out for the weekend on Twitter. But tonight we are on Minnesota-Boston under 8.5 runs, as well as no run first inning. We're on Philly Mets under 7.5, and the college football game, San Jose State over 55.
Okay. Phil, any troll plays, anything else to wrap it up?
Just my Skylar Thompson one. I think it was, I said, what, under 135?
135 plus 435.
Yep.
Okay. All right. That is Pick Central. Enjoy the weekend. We will see you next week.